Hey everybody, welcome to the next episode of the Strand Tennis Center podcast, filled with tips, advice, tennis, not tennis, just life advice too, whatever you need. Like it on YouTube, share it on the podcast as well. Thank you.
You can't even press play quick enough, Santi?
Hello.
Hey, Santi.
What's up?
I'm
How are
thoroughly
you?
annoyed,
Why
Santi.
are you annoyed? What happened?
What happened? It's just running a business. It's just degrees of annoyance. What are you talking
That's
about?
good, but that's a good annoyance.
Don't you want reality?
Yeah.
This
Give
is
it to me.
reality.
Give
It's
it
just
to us.
degrees of annoyance.
Okay.
Everything. I don't know. It's just the way
Well,
it is.
isn't this the week that everyone signs up? So is that like a hot mess?
You know
Hectic?
what? I don't know. I think I have. There's a book that I haven't read yet. It's called Burn Rate.
Burn rate.
It's running a business and being mentally ill at the same time, and I don't know anything about the book. I would assume, basically, you have to be a little crazy to run businesses and be entrepreneurs. You have to have somewhat of an insanity or some sort of
Yeah.
mental illness in a way, because no sane person would run a business. They just wouldn't.
Do you feel okay? Here's my question.
Yeah.
I feel like sane people want to start a business, and then maybe then the business turns them a little crazy.
So the chicken or the egg theory?
Yeah.
That's a tough one. I talk to a lot of people that say, hey, I love to start a business, I said, why don't you keep it a fantasy? It's always better to have the fantasy and then get your paycheck from the company.
Yeah.
It's always better, and that's the thing. So
Okay.
you're right. Maybe it does. Maybe it makes them crazy, but I think you have to be a little insane to initially go, I'm going to sell this thing
Right.
so well that I'm
Right.
going to make a living out of it, and I'm going to pay people, and I'm going to maybe listen. You know the guy, the Uni pizza guy. Who's that? Remember that pizza? The great. You know, it keeps in the heat. It's called. Is it Uni? It's
Uni, yeah.
Uni,
The pizza oven?
Yeah, the pizza oven.
I want one. It's like
Right?
$500.
Those two had a
Yeah.
business before that was very front facing, customer service. He goes, and he was like, and he was in Paris on vacation. He said, we're never going to make it doing this. We need to buy something or make something that is a product that you're not dealing as much. You'll deal with reviews, but you're not dealing day to day with someone in your face, customer service wise. You may deal with brokers and reps.
So maybe the customer service part of it turns people a little crazy.
Correct.
Kind of like how nurses and doctors, they get a little annoyed sometimes, you know, at their patients. I know, like, and like servers and bartenders, you know, everyone gets a little.
Look,
everywhere.
We've already discussed this. This will happen a long time, but these books, like Danny Meyer's book, Setting the Table, is great.
Yeah.
But you have to have some basis of reality of it as well. Like, you have to say, a real customer service book, which I told you I will be, a real customer service book is telling the reality of the customer. It's not giving this kind of like how we're going to provide great service. Boom, sound of the mic. You really have to show reality. The customer's also not, you know, they're not coming from this. Everybody is a human, right? So they're not coming from a normal place either, right?
Right.
And I'm not saying that we're perfect, but they're not perfect either. And I'm just basically the long and short of it is the worst is when a customer comes in and says, I'm the customer, I'm always right. And that's just incredibly insane.
They do that?
Oh, yeah.
They do that? Yeah.
Or they don't say it, but they act
They act like it.
I'm the customer, I'm correct.
Okay.
That doesn't mean anything. You can be a customer and still be very incorrect and very wrong. And it's your job as the business owner to not make a scene, like I've said this before, but to understand the 80-20 principle at its finest. Again, there will be 20% of the people that will cause 80% of the problems and all the headaches. You get rid of those 20%, and you're actually going to have a better life. Find the 20% of the people that give you 80% of the revenue and only 10% of the problems.
Okay.
And that's a huge thing. Come on in, please. Let's discuss pickleball. As you can see, we have pickleball. Some of our finest customers here. They never complain, Santi. They're great people. They're unbelievable. We'll get out of your way soon. Don't worry.
I like.
We're not worried. They're not worried. It is fun though.
Yeah.
Dealing with people. Something. It is like a roller coaster ride. I guess I'm just this is just off top of mind, just right off the cuff.
Here's my question, right? You've been doing, this club has been open for like 10 years or so, right? You haven't gotten used to the craziness yet? Or like the part that drives you a little wild? Or do you feel like it's always new? Because there's always...
No, I think I'm used to the craziness. This is what I think. Mm-hmm. This is all my internal dialogue.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's more of the vehicle of the business and saying, like I've said this before, whatever you want to do to be successful, you're going to have to work a ton. So you better find the vehicle that creates the proper amount of leverage and margin for you. Because I know people that work incredibly hard,
right,
and they're janitors, and it's very hard to get ahead doing that job, right? You have to find the proper vehicle. I know people that start businesses, and they make something, and they realize at the end they're losing money.
Right.
So they work their asses off, and they haven't done the homework properly. They're selling a...
That's okay.
Perfect. That's perfect. It's in the flow. They're selling a coffee cup. It costs them $10, and they're selling it for $8, and they don't realize that first. And that's what I'm talking about. Is the only time you get choked up in a business is when you're like, "Well, I'm working my ass off. Shouldn't we have a better margin?" Right?
Yeah,
you just think about that. It's not like woe is us. It's just that is the thing that ever gets frustrating over 15 years of going like, are we doing this right? Like, we're working too hard. But again, you have to understand to wake up and say this is the nature of the place, right?
So, as a business owner, what are things that you feel like you can control?
What can I control? I can control
that
my...
will, make the experience better for people, make the experience better for your employees as well.
Yeah, the only thing I can... two things. My work ethic, I can control.
Okay.
How hard I work. And the customer experience. You're right. I mean, Jeff Bezos was the best at that. He said, listen, don't worry about the competitor. Worry about satisfying the customer. And they will give you all your answers. Yeah, you can control all the customer service. You can't control whether people stay or go. Or you can just control how well you create the experience, right? So, and sometimes there's just not enough time in the day. And that's just how you feel sometimes. But again, the biggest thing, I think the most valuable thing running a business is to not judge any of that. Okay. That's the hardest part, is to not judge it and say, all right, today I wasn't as productive.
Okay.
And today I wasn't as successful. And today maybe I didn't get to the things I want to do, but don't judge that. The problem is self-judgment. And then you judge it, and then it's even worse. Don't judge yourself.
It'll bring you down, or it makes you self-doubt.
It's kind of a waste of energy. So I go through this day.
It causes too many stresses on yourself.
I go through this day, and then I judge myself at the end. What's the point of it? You can evaluate it and say, okay, this is what I can do. But if you judge, it's just like work-life balance or spending time with your family or not. Like everyone's got their own thing. So why judge yours based on somebody else's? Right. You just do your best. And if your intent is good, that's okay. If you're trying to do your best and you don't get to it all, most people have good intentions.
Yeah.
There's rarely any people that are really bad. Most people have good intentions.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
No, I don't know. I guess basically the topic of this is really know the vehicle that you're getting into. Right. Realize everything you're going to do takes 1 billion hours of work, and have the proper vehicle to make whatever your life needs to be. Carve it. So reverse engineer. Say you want to be able to, like you say, surf 3 days a week, go camping twice a week. Reverse engineer how much money you need to do that.
Right.
And then go back the other way. Don't start working, have no idea what your goal set is. Right. So say, all right, I want whatever it may be. I want my house paid off.
Yeah.
Even though some people will go in finance, even the people debate on whether you're having your primary house paid off. You shouldn't do that maybe. But say I want my house paid off. I want a job. I don't want any debt. Okay. And that way I want this much money in the bank, $500,000. I don't even know. $500,000 in the bank.
I
have no idea.
Okay.
And that's my goal. So you reverse engineer how to do that. And they say if I can do that, then if I want to quit a job or if I'm not happy with it, I can quit it. I
Right.
told you this a while ago. You need to tell me in the best way to be able to fuck off sometimes. You know what I mean? You need to have control over your life. You don't want to be in a situation where you're like, boy, shit, I didn't figure out. So figure out the number that you need to do that lifestyle.
Right. But I feel like for people that want to do, kind of like a freestyle nomad type lifestyle, like, a lot of it, I would say, maybe how do I phrase this? I don't know if they worry about money too much or they worry about where they want to live, but I feel like me at the same time, I do want to do a lot of things, but at the same time, it'd be nice to have like a home base. You know what I mean? Oh, good put. Yeah, it'd be
Way to go, Helene!
It'd be nice to have like a home base at the same time, but then to afford both things, you have to have a good job and a good career.
Yeah.
So it's like the wants and needs, should we have this many? That's another question, right? Should we have all these wants and needs? Are we supposed to satisfy all of them? Should we satisfy all of them? Or should we just be content and appreciate the things we have?
There's nothing wrong with wanting things.
Yeah.
Again, Anthony Robbins always said, replace expectation with appreciation. So you appreciate every day. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with having visions and wanting things. It's when you over leverage and fake it to get those things. Then you're just in a miserable situation. Okay. So wanting things is great, but nice shot.
This is dangerous.
No, it's all right. Okay. We're almost done, Lise. We're almost done. We're in the middle of the pickleball court. We're terrible people. So it's when you want something so bad, you want, again, delayed gratification, like we always said. It's when you want it so bad that you say, oh, all right, I'll do it. I'll make money later on. Never buy things expecting that you'll make the money to pay for them. Right. You want to pay for the thing.
They say don't buy something unless you can afford it twice or 3 times or something, right?
Sure.
Yeah, like up front.
Have you been living by that theory, something?
No.
Not at all. Not at all. You see, no, I don't.
think anyone is.
See, that's the problem is because it's a consumer-centric place. Yeah. I mean, that's not even the right phrase. It's a retail society. People want instant gratification. They don't want to wait. Right. They always say life is too short, but then when you're 90 and you have no goddamn money and you can't make any, then you're really pissed.
Then you're
most of the time life is pretty long.
Yeah, most of the time.
Yeah. Everybody, all these kids are like, oh, I'm 25. I'm not going to live until I'm past 60. It's fine. And then all of a sudden you're 70 years old. You're the same. Got to be real careful.
Okay.
So, how much time we got? A couple minutes. I don't want to bother them. We got it in the corner of the pickleball court here, but it's good. Pickleball's good stuff. It's so much fun to watch. It's fun to watch.
It's very intense.
It is. Pickleball professionals.
Yeah.
It's cool. So I think it's good. It's good. I like sometimes doing these podcasts right in the middle of emotions with the business going on, because that's real life. All the rest of this stuff is bullshit. Yeah. With these podcasts or whatever people talking about, this is real shit. You're dealing day to day. You deal with bills. You deal with this shit. You deal with this. You got a fee. You got to put. It's crap. A lot of it is. But I would still, again, not change places with anybody. I still would. Yeah. No matter how much shit I deal with.
Yeah.
So
I see that.
So I will tell you that. But
that is good.
There is a lot of shit.
Yeah. But I'm not surprised that there's a lot of shit that you have to deal with. Yeah.
But
it comes with
but then you don't want this podcast to be like, oh boy, Steve's on there again. Woe is me. You don't want that either. There's no one. You don't want.
I feel like
I don't want sympathy from anybody.
You're not like that either, so that's good. But some people are like that, and you don't end up want to work with someone like that.
Yeah, because
someone that inspires you a little.
Sure.
Gives you confidence in the future, stuff like that.
Correct.
So that's like a good leader, right? You want to be a good leader for the people that are here taking lessons and stuff, and as well as a leader for your employees.
Yeah, because if I walked in here and was like, oh boy, you'd be like, if this guy's depressed.
It was a tough week. Yeah, I don't know. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's all right. We got pizza this afternoon, so it'll be fun, right? We have a continuing education. We have a marketing meeting at 12. We really, really want us to grow. We want to be the acorn that becomes the oak, Santi. Okay. You're going to be a large oak tree after this year.
Okay. Sounds
blossoming and blooming.
Sounds
It's
good.
so yeah. Again, to repeat at the end, know the vehicle you're doing, reverse engineer it, understand if you are going to do something, understand the numbers, understand the margins, understand, what it's going to take for you to make money. Now, if you're doing something just for a passion and you have another job you're doing as a side hustle and it's just fun and it doesn't matter, that's one thing. But if you're really like, I want to run a business and start a business, before you go into it, you're going to have to work tremendously hard.
Yeah.
So know the margins properly, know the numbers right, and know that, hey, if I put all this time in, there's got to be some sort of result at the end. So if I don't understand that, you're going to get confused and frustrated, right?
Yeah.
So
Makes sense.
But start a business, everybody. I would do it. I would experiment starting it because it helps you with everything, emotional. So in other words, even in college or even if you working for somebody, start a little side something. Just, I don't know, keep your brain active. It's a great way to, you should do it in that format because most people aren't entrepreneurs and it's very difficult and it's not fun and it's very lonely at times. Yeah. But you should do something maybe on the side with all that protection that you have for working for somebody.
Right.
Because it can be a fun little project.
Yeah.
And then if it becomes something successful, then you have a problem to decide and make a decision. But
that
that's
makes sense.
Anything else, something? What do you got?
No, nothing.
Wait a minute. Come on.
What do you mean?
Did you have your date?
What? No, hold on. No, not yet. Saturday.
When's your date? Saturday?
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Okay. We are going to, hopefully, we're going to the city. We're going to the city, and I'm probably going to take her ice skating. In the
Rockefeller
city.
Center?
No, that's too cheesy.
It's too cheesy.
So we're probably going to do Bryant Park.
Look at you. You're a hipster.
Yeah, Bryant Park, get some hot chocolate with some Baileys in it, get some food. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know.
So you excited?
Yeah, I was very nervous a couple days before.
Why?
But I don't know. It's just. But now I'm okay with it. I'm like, whatever happens. I've never met her before, so we'll see how it goes. I bought her gloves already and winter socks. Because I'm not telling her we're going ice skating. So he's going to get in the car and we'll just
very nice
get
of you.
food. And it'll be like,
it's a surprise.
Yeah, a surprise.
So you're picking her up.
Yeah. So we'll see.
That's pretty cool.
We'll see.
And I told you this a while ago. If you were on a dating app 30 years ago, you were like a creeper. Now it's like normal. Everyone does it. It's just the way it is. Yeah. I'm the one who's antiquated. It's great. Everybody, even Vincent, swiping left, swiping right, swiping left. It's just that's my son. But he's like 21 and he's in college. And he's social, and he's around everybody, and he's still on
Because the
Tinder.
thing about hitting on someone in person is a little different nowadays. People aren't as confident.
Isn't that strange?
People aren't as confident.
If I walked up to somebody and said hello to them, it would be like, no, go on your phone.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't that ridiculous?
Yeah, that's the crazy part.
Doesn't that seem strange?
Yeah, but yet you'll talk to someone online. Rather than someone that you met at the grocery store, the mall, or whatever. Yeah. You can't really just go up to someone nowadays and feel like. But the interesting thing is, if you go up to someone and you express a good, genuine conversation, they find that so different and strange that then they're I wouldn't say they're instantly attracted to you, but they're more wowed by it.
Why are you going right up to them?
Yeah, I have this one friend who he tried to talk to a girl on an airplane. And she ignored him, and then at the end when they all got off, everyone gets stuck trying to get off the airplane. So he was standing right next to her, and he made a conversation with her.
That's nice.
And then they didn't. She gave her a number, and then they started dating a month or two later, and now they're in love and stuff. But at first she tried to ignore him. She was like, "What the fuck? Who is this guy trying to hit on me on the airplane?" Yeah.
So by that theory, that's why. When you talk about business, I always go back to business.
Yeah.
People are going to magic and marvel at you meeting them face to face, talking to them, doing something face to face.
I do notice that too more when you're talking to the clients more. When you
Yeah.
talk to them more, you make conversation with them. They have a better time, even
Correct.
if they're not hitting the best shots.
Yeah.
They feel like you're listening and caring and stuff.
Everything
Just
is cyclical, right? So Amazon can create this algorithm. They can find out my detergent's empty. They'll deliver it to me immediately, blah, blah, blah. But people are going to miss the 1940s, 50s butcher that knows your name and wants your cut. It's very different. People need that now. So, and I tell you guys, we can't compete with these big companies, but they can't compete with us with hand-to-hand combat, meeting somebody, giving them what they need, saying, hey, here's a coffee, I thought about you, all of that stuff. They can't compare. Very different. And so that's why it's amazing on the dating scene, you're going to be an incredible person when you talk to someone.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
I find it incredible.
It'll be fun. See how it goes.
But don't you find yourself then, when you're not talking to them in person right away, having to think of a great idea for a first date? Isn't it simpler? Wouldn't it, not simpler, but if you start to talk to someone and they like you immediately, the date is incidental.
Yeah.
So
as
if you
long as
talk
you're
to
having
them
good conversation with them,
right?
then it's like, it goes really smoothly. Like, I've had, multiple second dates and stuff, all just off the genuine conversation that you have. But I feel like if you have a dead conversation, then you can feel the vibe is dead. You can't really bring it back. And if they're not giving, but here's another thing.
Helene is listening to you about dating. He's talking about dating, Helene.
If they're not communicating back and actually like genuinely interested in the conversation, then there's no point.
Okay.
It's like a two-way street. You can't bring up all the topics. You have to have them be like, oh, I'll be like, oh, I went to the beach the other day. They have to be like, oh, what did you do at the beach? They can't just be like, oh, that's nice.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes on the dating apps, they don't hold the conversation. They don't keep it going, They'll be like, oh, what'd you do today? I'm like, yeah, I went to the mall. Then you got to build up. Be like, oh, what did you buy? Did you eat anything? Did you go to the Cheesecake Factory? I don't know. You got to build it. And
what dating app is, I just want to hook up? What dating app is, I actually want to meet somebody?
So back in the day when Tinder first came out, that was I just want to hook up.
Okay.
And then now all the apps are more so, nobody wants to hook up anymore. It's more so like, everyone's kind of lonely. They want someone to care for and everything. But at the same time, nobody wants to commit to anything because they're too afraid to like express real emotion.
Just like
now.
Life.
Yeah, they're too
just
afraid
like
to
forever.
They're
So
too afraid to get hurt.
Dating apps are getting more into what people actually are.
Yeah. It used to just be like, dang, you're hot, and then you meet up, and then whatever.
Can't talk about that, kids.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. So it's getting more and more human-centric, these apps, I guess.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, have good luck. Next week, well, that's Thursday. We'll have to do it. Next week is Thanksgiving. Next week we have to figure out a different day to do it.
Thanksgiving.
But I'd like to know how it goes.
We'll do like a Wednesday or something. We'll see what day we can do.
That was a cute picture of her you showed me. She's cute.
No, I'm not showing anyone.
No, she was.
Oh, yeah,
no.
I'm
not saying, geez, you're getting defensive right. I just said it was a cute picture.
She's cute. That's why I'm nervous, because she's cute. It makes it worse. So here's the thing.
So you'd rather have an ugly person to date?
No. It's the funny thing.
Could you be ugly? I'll be more relaxed.
So I'm communicating with other people as well on these apps, right?
Okay.
If I find someone more attractive, then you're like a little more nervous, a little more shy towards them.
Never put anybody on a pedestal, Santi.
I know. That's what I'm trying not to do.
My wife did, and I told her, calm down. It's all right. Don't get intimidated. Yeah, right. Right.
But I notice, like, the people that I don't find them as attractive as other people. I'm more free-flowing talking in my conversations. I say whatever I want.
Yeah.
The people that are more like, oh, man, I hope she likes me. Like
well, that's
like a
too
kid
needy,
again.
yeah.
And then you're like, then you have to, like, play it cool. That's the worst part.
Well, good luck.
Thanks.
Have a good holiday, everybody, because we'll talk to you after the holiday. Again, keep moving. Take action. Just exercise. Do it. We'll do one thing you can do. One thing. Think of one thing you can do to make your day good, and that's it. And whether it's exercise, whether it's, say, read, whether it's, say, go on a date, one thing you think you need to do to make yourself happy. Just start with one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, everybody. Hope you like the podcast. Please share it with your friends, anybody that you know, anybody that's into tennis, anybody that's into bettering themselves. Share it.